Congress came to classrooms across Alexandria as Cenla's congressional representative Cleo Fields looked to educate students on the importance of civic engagement and his goal to draw more congressional eyes on the nation's educational system.
Y'all are not majoring in education anymore, and so I gotta put some emphasis on it.
Louisiana's District 6 congressional representative Cleo Fields is continuing his statewide series of taking Congress to the classroom, this time visiting students in Rapides Parish.
It's an amazing program. We get in the classroom, we have, we teach the kids the 3 branches of government, which is a great thing, because that was one of my, problems when I was in high school, is to distinguish between state and federal government. I thought all state senators all senators, worked out of Washington, D.C.
Fields says students across Louisiana and the greater United States needs a larger emphasis on civic engagement and learning in the school system, believing youth are becoming more and more separated from the government each day.
I think there's a disconnect all over the country, not just Louisiana, all over the country.
While he says his tour is just a small stepping stone in an attempt to help bridge that gap, he's also looking to build upon not only civic engagement, but also build solutions in solving key issues plaguing the nation's educational system.
We have a real shortage of teachers. I want to emphasize the value and importance of education. I got 3 bills in Congress that will deal with those issues. One will forgive the student loan for any person who majors in education and practice their profession for a period of 8 years in a public school. The other will forgive the first 50,000 hours of federal taxes for teacher salaries. So I'm just trying to put more emphasis on education because, educators are a dying breed.
Fields argues by providing financial incentives for college students looking to enter the world of education, the federal government can correct the teacher shortage.
That encourages people to go in the field of education. We need to do any and everything we can to get more people in education.
However, back in D.C., Fields has 2 bills on the books. His bid to provide incentives to students looking to join the teacher workforce, and another to expand financial literacy in classrooms across America. As of now, they're both awaiting debate in committee.
We all have education as one of our priorities, every member of Congress. This is smart investment.